a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there lived 3 gays.
Bum, 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 dun, 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 na, na, na.
Hello, and welcome to Giggles and Gays, the podcast where we talk about whatever we want to talk about. I'm Jedi Master that's been kept away from civilization, Alan.
Oh, we have a backstory now? I'm Smuggler who just got done with the Kessel Run Larry.
I'm Sith Lord Jeff, who was in the middle of singing a song, took a deep breath, and got cut off. Jeff.
That was the perfect time.
And we're gay. Welcome to Giggles and Gays, everybody. How's it going?
It's going pretty well.
Dun, 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 dun. I just needed to get that part out.
Hey,
that's where I was going.
I was allowed to stop you whenever I wanted to stop you.
I didn't even get to the climax of the song.
Oh, please. No one wants to see you climax.
Wow.
Or hear you climax, because this is not a video.
Wait till our YouTube. Sorry, that's our only
man.
That's the Giggles and Gays only fans.
Oh, jeez. Can you? No, I don't even want to imagine.
Nope. $20 sub. Nope. $20 sub.
$20. $20? That's expensive.
Our feet are very expensive.
Feet? Yeah. Moving on. So it's Monday here at Giggles and Gays because, that's when we come out. And that's when, we've been coming out since October.
We come out on Mondays and then we receive back into the closet the rest of the week.
Then we jump back in. And this week we have a very, very special set of crushes. And it happens to be the Skywalkers. So that would be Darth Vader, a.k.a. Anakin as Darth Vader. But don't give me that eye. I don't really care. And then you'd also have the twins, Luke and Leia. Now, Leia did not take the name of Skywalker because she didn't know yet. So, that's why. But those are our 3 crushes. How do you guys feel about the 3 crushes?
It's Daddy Vader.
Oh my God.
You called him Darth Vader.
Because that is Daddy. His name.
So,
in the original script, they had it written down as Daddy, and they were like, well, that's a little too kinky for Star Wars.
No, the original script said Darth Vader is the daddy.
He's Daddy Vader.
I'm your daddy.
Yeah, that's how he says it. The original line was, Luke, I am your daddy. And
that could have been an entirely different...
And he was like, oh, where's the money?
Pretty sure that was the parody that some porn site did, though.
I'm sure.
We do not.
The lightsabers are peepees.
That was the Schwartz in Spaceballs.
No, I meant real penises.
Oh, God.
This is why we have an explicit tag on our podcast.
Spaceballs is funny, though.
This is why. But that has nothing to do with our current crushes. I don't know what we're going to call them. What are we going to call the crush this week?
The main character crush Monday?
Okay, I like it. Let's go. let's go with that. Let's go with that. So that would be Darth Vader, who is
Daddy Vader.
Daddy Vader, who is one of Jeff's favorite characters. Am I right?
Daddy Vader.
Is Darth Vader one of your favorite characters?
Yeah, he's a boss-ass bitch. He walks around the galaxy and fucks people up.
With just his hand.
And his lightsaber. Yeah, I wish I could be... I'm jumping ahead, but I wish I could just be Darth Vader during a meeting, and when that one guy pissed him off, he started fucking force-choking him. That was great.
Just...
Yeah, and they were just like, you gotta stop, and he was like... Fine. He's like, fine, I'll stop. Like, I wish I could just force choke people out at meetings. Or over the phone.
I just wish that some meetings were just done by email.
Well, that's another thing.
And then we also have Luke, who we all know and love. That was one of my first crushes when I first saw the movie back in the day. Only episode 4, when he's in the white outfit, was he the crush. After that, then he meh. And then my favorite character is Princess Leia. She's always been my favorite character. She's awesome, and I love her. And Carrie Fisher, you're awesome. So that's our main character crush Monday. So that's a MC.
When did you have Mark Hamill as your man crush?
He wasn't a man. He wasn't my man crush.
He was.
No, I'm not my man crush. That's not what I mean. He was. We did it for like I think it was our first episode where we talked about our first crushes, or was that the nerdy episode?
Nope, it's on the first crush one.
So he only in white was he my crush. So. So Mark Hamill is officially our first man.
Our first double crush?
Our first double crush?
I'm pretty sure I've had Tom Holland like 10 times.
No.
But officially once.
Officially once.
All right, next week's Tom Holland.
No, he wasn't in Star Wars.
When the new Spider-Man movie comes out, he can be my man crush.
Well, when we talk about Spider-Man and not Star Wars, then maybe.
So, did you know there's a cross?
Moving
Spider-Man
on.
doesn't go in space.
So if you have not realized, friends, we are going to be talking about episodes 4, 5, and 6 of Star Wars.
The original trilogy.
The OG Trilogy.
Great graphics, guys.
The ones that started it all.
The one that started it all. So, who is going to be doing our synopsis?
Who do you think it is?
Of the
It's
the
Larry's
movies.
recap corner.
Larry's recap corner.
I'll write it down so we don't forget that.
Yeah, I would go ahead and do that. So, Mr. Main, go ahead and start off.
How many minutes does he get this time? You kept taking away from him, so...
Well, it's episode 3, so he gets...
Ooh, it's episode 4.
4, sorry, my bad.
So you get 4 minutes.
He gets 4 minutes.
Okay, so episode 4 starts off in space, as all the Star Wars movies do. And Princess Leia is escaping, and then she sends R2 with a message to Tatooine, and R2 and C-3PO get separated, and then they get reunited by Luke Skywalker and his family, and Luke's like, oh, you've got a message for Obi-Wan? That sounds like old Ben. I bet he's talking about old Ben. And so he leaves, and then Skywalker follows, and then he meets Ben Kenobi, and then they go back, and his family's killed and burned. And then he's like, gosh, that sucks. And Ben's like, hey, want to join the rebellion? And he's like, sure. And so they find Han Solo, and then they fly out. They get caught in a tractor beam at that point?
Yes.
Yeah, they get caught in a tractor beam. Yeah, because all of this takes place on the Death Star. Like, the whole film, almost. Okay, so they're on the Death Star, and they're like, oh my gosh, they saved Princess Leia, and then... And then Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader face off, and he's like, if you strike me down, I will become more powerful than you could ever imagine. And Vader just cuts him down because he didn't listen. Like, he never listens. And then Ben becomes part of the Force.
Because he had
and
the
Luke
higher ground that time.
He did, because he was taller. And then Luke's all sad, and Leia's rescued, and then they bring her back to the rebellion, and then Luke's like, yeah, I want to join the rebellion, and Han's like, screw you guys, I'm in it for the money, and he leaves. And then they're like, all right, we're going to blow up the Death Star, because it's no more difficult than bullseyeing Womp Rats on Tatooine. So they fly to the Death Star before it blows up their base on Yavin 4. And they're flying, and they're flying, and they're flying, and they're going to do it, and they keep getting picked off. And then Han Solo comes back in the Millennium Falcon, drives away the TIE fighters so that Luke, with the aid of Force Ghost Ben, shoots a proton torpedo into the exhaust port, which was apparently deliberately put there, and destroys the Death Star, and everyone celebrates, and everyone gets medals except for Chewbacca, even though he helped a lot. The end.
Good job, babe. That was very nice, and that was less than 4 minutes, so I'm very proud of you.
Right? I tried to be so streamlined.
No, everything was very good. So we're going to basically do exactly what we did last week as far as the questions. So we're going to talk about our favorite moments of episode 4, starting off with. So Jeff, favorite moment of episode 4. Or as it was commonly referred to when it came out as Star Wars, A New Hope.
It didn't even have A New Hope on it. It was just Star Wars. He added A New Hope, I think, after episode 5.
After he kind of realized, like, they released, hey, we're doing more.
Yeah, I think it was just called Star Wars. But anyway.
So as it did when I first saw it on the VHS box, Star Wars, A New Hope.
My favorite part of episode 4.
Did it have to do with Daddy Vader?
I want to say it's the lightsaber fight, but it's a really shitty lightsaber.
And it's really short, too.
Really not very... Like, at the time, it was like, ooh, space swords. But, like, it wasn't very exciting. That was it.
Do you want us to come back to you?
Yeah, come back to me.
Babe,
I gotta think about it.
What was your favorite part?
So, there's so much about the film that I like, but I like two moments. Essentially, the whole escape sequence, where they rescue Princess Leia, but then she's like, okay, I've got to take charge of my own rescue, otherwise I'm not getting rescued. I loved that, especially because she drops the British accent once she gets rescued. But my second favorite, just for pure emotion, is when Luke comes back and he sees the farmstead just like destroyed bodies. That's not my favorite part, but it's the musical score right after, where he's just staring off into the distance like, oh my gosh. And it's playing the Force theme as you see the sun setting.
Did you figure it out yet?
Yeah, it would have been when Vader force chokes that guy during the meeting.
I was like, I thought you already said that.
Yeah, I guess because I always forget if that's in 4 or 5, but it's in 4.
Yeah.
So that part.
I mean, he chokes so many people out, let's be honest.
When he kills the one guy on the TV screen and tells the other guy he's in charge.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how all of the droids in like Clone Wars, the other ones, whenever one dies, oh, you're in charge now. Boom. Oh, I guess that means I'm in charge now. Mm-hmm. All the time. I don't know. I guess my favorite part of 4 is just throughout the whole movie, just Leia's sass. Like, I identify with Leia's sass so much. Like, aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper? I mean, like, if someone told me that when I was saving, I'd be like, okay, bitch, you can stay. Like, I'll leave. But yeah, anything to do with Leia is probably...
She got all of Anakin's sass.
All of Anakin's sass. And all of Padme's diplomacy. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, pretty much.
Alderaan. It's on Alderaan.
Least favorite part? Larry. Babe. Mr. Man. What's your least favorite part?
My least favorite part. Okay, so I would have to say it's this between Greedo and Han Solo in Mos Eisley, where we're introduced to Han Solo, because they kept changing it back and forth. So the big debate was who shot first, because they're like, Han Solo shot first because he was always planning on killing Greedo so that he could like escape and, you know, not pay Jabba the Hutt. But everyone's like, oh no, he's such a good character. He wouldn't murder Greedo. He would only shoot in self-defense. And everyone's like, and it was this big back and forth. And eventually they changed it to where, what was it? They changed it to where he shot a split second after, or they shot at the same time. I think that whole debate is stupid, and either way, it doesn't matter. So that's my least favorite part, even though I like the scene as a whole.
Mine goes off of his. I hate that George Lucas went back and digitally added shit to the movie to take away from it, which goes on with yours. If you watch it now, they digitally made it so that Han Solo's head awkwardly dodges to the side to miss the bolt that Greedo shoots.
He also awkwardly steps over Jabba's tail, who is inserted later.
Yes.
And I can't. It hurts to watch. I don't mind it, but...
I just don't like that he added all this random digital stuff, because, now I have better technology, now I can add in things I wanted to add in before. But it's like, even in the Tatooine scene when they're driving in,
they
added creatures walking by.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but you're taking away from the original experience. I don't know. That's what I don't like about the whole trilogy.
Yeah, no, and I agree. I did not like the fact that he went in, and it's the ones that are all on Disney Plus too. Like, went back in and he, updated them and stuff like that. It's like, no, just leave them the same. Honestly, if you take away that part, take away the stuff that he added and stuff, I don't have a least favorite part in New Hope at all. It was one of the first movies that I absolutely loved and that I would watch all the time. So I don't have a least favorite part of that movie. Sorry. At all. My bad. So moving on to episode.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, do you have more?
Hold on.
I didn't know you had more. That's exciting.
We all need to take a moment of silence.
Oh God, for what?
For the 1,148,309 people that died on the Death Star.
All right.
So
What
please.
about Alderaan?
I don't know how many people died on Alderaan.
Lots.
Okay, so we'll take a moment for Alderaan and the Death Star. Because let's be real, just because they work for the Empire doesn't mean that they were the bad people. You know? They just happen to be the wrong place.
They were just doing what they were told.
They were doing their job. They were getting paid money to do it. Han used to work for the Empire. He used to be a pilot for them. So, we all have our dark, dirty secrets. But let's please take a 5-second moment of silence. Pour your drinks out if you got them. Just a little bit for these workers and everybody on Alderaan. A moment of silence.
Hold on. It's adding to the silence.
Okay, it's been 5 seconds.
So
They all died.
They did.
They died. They blew up. They blew up.
Somebody screwed them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Luke did.
The person that put that hole there did.
Well, yeah, but that's all explained. But we're not there yet.
One day. So, moving on to episode 5, also called The Empire Strikes Back.
Back to Larry's recap.
Back to Larry's recap. You had 4 minutes last time.
So now I get 5 minutes?
No, this time you get 3 minutes.
Why?
Because it's going down.
Oh, so we're not going based off the number of what episode it was? I thought that's what you were trying to do because it was episode 4, so you got 4 minutes.
I know,
So
but
now-
let's be honest. 5 minutes is a lot.
Not that segment.
It's a lot of time.
Yeah, but he didn't even take 4 minutes last time.
Well, why don't I just give him 2?
Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
You take however much time you
We're
need.
on Hoth, cold frozen planet, and they're all out looking for stuff. And Luke's like, hey, I think I see something. And so he goes and checks it out, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's there, and he's like, you need to go visit my old Jedi Master on Dagobah. And Luke's like, oh, okay, cool. Neat, Ben. And then he gets attacked, he gets frozen, he gets knocked down. Anyway, he's trapped by a Wampa. And so Han's like, hey, I gotta go save him. And the guy's like, you can't go out, you're gonna freeze to death. And he was like, then I'll see you in hell. And so he goes out, and Leia's like, oh my gosh, I think I love Han. But she can't say it because she's stubborn. So anyway, they're at the secret base, and Luke starts using the Force. He calls a lightsaber to him so he can get escaped, and then he gets into the ice. I think I did all that backwards. Either way, he's in the ice. Han Solo finds him, cuts open a tauntaun, sticks Luke inside, saves him. They all get back to the base just in time to evacuate because the Empire finally found Hoth, and they're like, haha, we're going to snuff out the rebel base. And so they come down, and everybody leaves. And this is where everybody splits up for like the rest of the movie. So Luke goes to Dagobah to learn the ways of the Force from Jedi Master Yoda, who seems like a crazy old man, but he's not. He knows a lot. Luke and Han and Leia leave, and they're just, dodging ships the whole time?
They go to Cloud 9.
Cloud City?
City. Yeah. Did I say Cloud 9? Yeah. They go to Cloud City. Sorry, I was thinking of something else. They go to Cloud City.
So they go to Cloud City to get reinforcements or something, and then they're tricked by Lando and Boba Fett and Darth Vader, and Darth Vader alters the deal he had with Lando, and Lando's like, gee, I feel really bad, this all sucks, really terrible. And they freeze Han Solo and Carbonite, and then, but before that, Leia's like, I love you, and Han's like, I know. And so anyway, frozen in Carbonite. And then Luke shows up, and he's like, I'm here to save my friends. And then he and Darth Vader fight. Darth Vader cuts off Luke's hand, and Luke's like, you killed my master, you killed my dad. And he's like, no, Luke, I am your father.
Daddy.
That's not what he said. And then so
original theatrical cut.
he's So he
What is it that Luke says whenever it happens?
That's impossible. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
As
And
he's
then-
holding on for dear life because he just got his hand cut off.
And then he's like, nope, I can't. I'm just gonna. And then he's like, join me. And then he's like, no. And then he just falls. And then he's hanging from the bottom of the spire, and he reaches out through the force, and Leia's like, hold on, I know where Luke is. The first scene of us getting to see her using the force. And they fly, and they pick him up, and then they catch Luke up on everything, and Luke catches them up on everything. And then at the end of the film, Luke gets a metal hand, and he covers it with a glove, and they're just staring out into space.
Like father, like son.
I think I missed a lot, but that's the gist.
Good job, babe. I appreciate it. So,
That's been Larry's recap corner for
he's
episode
got
5.
one more.
For episode 5.
He's got one more. So, I will go first. Favorite part of this is the big revelation. I thought it was super cool the first time I saw it. I was like, what? And I was a kid, so I was like, that's pretty much why I said it. I was like, what? It was really cool. I thought that was awesome. And I like the Cloud City. I like it up in the sky and everything. I don't like Lando, but I like the Cloud City. I thought that was super cool, and it was really awesome to see. So yeah.
I like Lando. I like that he's a three-dimensional character, but I do think it's shady that the first, main character black person we have in the Star Wars universe, and he's kind of a scoundrel. But that's the only issue I have with it. But he's a very well-rounded character.
I mean, we all know that he gets better.
He does. He gets
Yeah.
much better.
And then the next black character we have is an angry Jedi Master.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if George Lucas has something against people.
But was that your favorite? Your full favorite?
I was done.
Okay.
Yes. So you did yours.
No, he didn't.
you didn't?
He went
No,
off.
I added on to yours.
He was talking about yours.
But it was mine.
Yeah, but I added on to it.
You have your own.
So
Domestic dispute over here.
I think honestly, so I've got two favorite things like I always do. The first is the romance between Han and Leia, that it starts to blossom, but it blossoms in their own time. It's not lovey-dovey. They're literally both trying to be like, hey, look, just admit you like me. They're literally both doing that the whole time until they're like, yeah, okay, you're right.
Oh, wait, pause for a second. I have another favorite. Leia's Hoth outfit.
Oh, it's so fun.
I really love that. Anyways, continue.
Her outfits are always the
Yeah,
best.
pretty much. Oh, well, her Cloud City one is a little wow.
I like it.
The braided things in the back, like the braids in the back of her hair and everything. I don't know. I didn't like the outfit. Anyways, continue.
And then my favorite part, because I love all of the quotes from the films, but my favorite part is, Han, you can't go out past dark. You'll freeze to death out there. Then I'll see you in hell. And he just leaves. It was just like, the guy's like, hey, be careful. Fuck you. And he just rides off on the friggin' Tauntaun. That was good, babe.
Thanks. I
I
tried.
felt like there was a Tauntaun in the room.
There is a Tauntaun. Tauntaun of gayness.
Oh, hey. That was good.
You should see Jeff's face right now. I don't think he knows how to react right now.
Jeff.
This is the straightest podcast we have.
Oh my god. We have others?
Not yet.
Jeff, your favorite part of the movie?
My favorite, probably definitely the Revelation. I mean, who doesn't like that? But I like the fight in Cloud City. I kind of like the carbon when they freeze them in carbonite, and they do like the I know and I love you, I know stuff. Like, I think that's fun.
I think of the three films, this is the most dramatic.
It's because it's the best film out of the three.
We're not there yet. So least favorite part.
When they kiss. Luke and Leia.
Oh, I was going to say...
I
when
thought that was in the
Nope,
first
it's in
one.
Nope,
the-
it's at the
in-
very beginning, because Han's like, blah, 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 this and that, and then to make Han jealous, she kisses Luke.
But don't they also kiss in the fourth one?
No.
Yes.
She pecks him on the cheek, I think.
Yeah, this is when they kiss. You can kiss your sister or your brother on the cheek. This is when she goes in, and afterwards Luke puts his hands behind his head, and he's like, yeah, I just got some from this girl. Your sister.
Any other least favorite parts?
No. I just don't like the kiss. It's weird. Out of context, like, in the movie, it's not weird, but knowing everything now, it's just weird.
Well, especially because if you're watching it like they did when it was released, it still led you to believe, like, oh man, that could be a love interest. And then later you're like, because you find out they're related in this one, right? You find out that they're related in this one, or is it the next?
No, it's in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay, so after Return. Yeah, but you're still like, oh man.
Because I remember the part, she's like, because he's my brother. Because Han gets all, like, bent out of shape.
He tells her on Endor, but we're not that far yet, so.
No. My least favorite part is the whole I love you, I know. I freaking hate that. Think it's stupid. If you love them, let them know. Even though Larry and I both have the hats that say I love you and I know. But I just hate that part. Just hate it.
But it's a Han Solo response.
I know it's a Han Solo response, but sometimes Han Solo is a douche noggin.
Sometimes.
Han Solo's a douche noggin, and I did not feel the love from it, and I've never liked that saying, but that's just me.
Well, especially because is it ever reciprocated?
I don't think I ever hear a Han Solo say he loves
I love
her.
you. Mm-mm. And then she says, I know. Because that would have been funny.
That would have been real funny.
Like Ghost.
So your least favorite part?
My least favorite part. Honestly, I would have to say it's mostly Dagobah, because I love Yoda and I love Obi-Wan and I love that Luke got to train with Yoda and that they got such a close bond. But knowing how much everyone has lied to the Skywalkers, I'm just like, guys, can we not? But knowing that, and then knowing Yoda was, like, so disappointed in Luke, it was like, just, give him a chance. Give the boy a chance.
Well, there's things out there that have said that Yoda had wanted to train Leia.
Yeah.
Not Luke.
Because she was afraid Luke was going to be an Anakin.
I have to do a correction before we get corrected.
What?
Oh, no.
In Return of the Jedi, Han Solo says I love you, and then Leia says I know and kills 2 stormtroopers when they're trying to break into the bunker.
Yes.
So I value your opinion, Larry, but you were wrong.
Well, then it's not an opinion. And I did. I asked if it was reciprocated.
I knew it was. I remember hearing it somewhere. I couldn't remember where it was, but I looked it up.
I did not remember.
It's okay. I looked it up.
Yeah, when they're right out in front and they're both like, okay, yeah. I like that.
Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh, yeah, so Dagobah, because there's so much that I like about it, and then there's so much I don't. And also, Yoda goes crazy when he lives by himself.
I mean, he's been by himself for how long now?
At least 20 or 30
long
years.
time.
Yeah.
In a densely force-sensitive
And
swamp.
he was already over 900 years old, so...
He's already old as crap.
And he's also a puppet. So you gotta give it to him.
But created and worked by the man who also worked on The Muppets. Voiced by Frank Oz.
The Muppet Show tonight.
Ba-dum-bum-bum.
We'll do a Muppets episode.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be fun. But yeah, that's...
To go off of yours, Alan.
Mine?
Your favorite one.
Yeah.
Of the big revelation. They didn't tell anybody besides Mark Hamill, the Darth Vader person, and George Lucas were the only ones to know that Darth Vader was the father until the movie was premiered.
So
Everybody else.
So James Earl Jones.
I don't remember. Well, yeah, it had to be him because he's the one who voices it. But I don't remember if the guy who played Darth Vader knew it. I think they had him say something different when they originally filmed it.
It was, yeah, it had to have been something
It was something completely
dramatic to the effect of, no, that's impossible.
different. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think you're right. Yeah, no, I remember reading.
I have read that and I've seen a video, and then I also saw Mark Hamill talk about it where he was like, yeah, and then at the premiere, Harrison comes up to me and goes, why the hell didn't you tell me, kid? And yeah, I remember. Yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, no, I mean you had to. I mean, can you imagine? It was one of the biggest reveals in like cinematic history. Mm-hmm. Like, if it had been done today, it had already been spoiled.
Yeah.
Like 100%, it would have been spoiled completely.
Just like the guy who got beat up coming out of episode 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Spoiler alert. Han Solo dies in episode 7. The guy comes out and says, Han Solo dies. And everybody in line beat him up. Did you read that article?
No.
Yeah.
But I bet
If you find it, you have to send it to us.
Angry Star Wars
Wars
fans. We'll talk about it more during next week's
Yeah, I was going to say,
episodes.
remind me to talk about how I got spoiled for that.
So, so I know we had our favorite characters in 4. Who is your one favorite character in the 5th one?
Did we do a favorite character for 4?
I mean, you said Vader.
Vader's even more badass in episode 5.
I mean, do you continue?
My thing about episode 5 is that it's when the bad guys win. Because they win constantly through that. They destroy the Hawk base. They pretty much break up the rebels. Like, they just put everything in dismay. Like, they win. It's a win-win. And Palpatine shows up, and he's all like, well, he's on his way there. I guess he doesn't does he show up in 5?
Takes him a long time to
No,
get there.
You see him walk with Vader, like, through a starship,
because Vader goes to his ship, right? Or does he go to Vader's ship?
I think this is the very first time we see him, but Palpatine's still not doing much.
So Palpatine's technically in episode 4. I don't know if it's in the newer versions of it, but he shows up on a hologram to Vader. When Vader's in his little potty thing.
They changed his face though to be
someone else.
to be the new makeup.
Yeah, because he
face.
used to look like a crazy monkey or something like that was talking on screen.
Yeah, because he had the hood pulled way over his face, and then they changed it to where you could see more.
Man who spoiled new Star Wars movie beaten in theater.
Yeah, you'll have to send it to me. Yeah, I guess we didn't have I guess we didn't talk about favorite character. Anyways, moving on. So, now we're going to go up to episode 6. Return of the Jedi.
Welcome to Larry's Recap Corner.
Recap Corner.
How
You
many
have
minutes?
1 minute. No, I'm just kidding.
All right,
You have 60 seconds. That's
Jabba
also
gets
1
Han
minute.
Solo frozen in carbonite, and Bush shows up and is like, "Hey, I brought you a Wookiee and C-3PO who used to be with Han Solo and stuff." And they're like, "Haha, that's stupid." And then Bush is like, "You know what? I've got a thermal detonator that says otherwise." And then Jabba's like, "Okay, fine, pay the bounty hunter." And so it's night, and then Bush is actually Leia, and then Leia unfreezes Han Solo, who is still kind of blind and can't really do a whole lot because of the carbonite freezing. And then they ambush her, and then they chain her up. And then Luke comes in, and he tries to save everybody. And then he gets thrown down into the Sarlacc pit because everyone thinks he's silly. And then not Sarlacc pit, the Rancor pit. Mm-hmm. And he defeats the Rancor. The gate closes on his head, and it kills him. And the Keeper of the Rancor is so sad. And that always broke my heart. Anyway, Luke gets out, but then they capture him again? Anyway, they're on the sail barge, about to go over the Sarlacc, and they're about to dump everybody into the Sarlacc pit. And then they all nod at each other like 12 times. And then the music plays, and Luke gets his lightsaber, and they all fight, and it plays the theme again. And then Leia chokes out Jabba, and she escapes, and everybody escapes. And then... Man, I am just drawing a big old blank.
What part you at? You're at the Sarlacc pit?
Yeah, they
Jabba's dead.
Jabba's dead. They escape the Sarlacc pit. Where do they go after that? Do they go directly to Endor?
No, they go to the Rebels. And the Rebels
Rebel
say...
base on Yavin?
Yeah, they have to go to Yavin because they need to talk about how there's another Death Star.
Oh yeah, another Death Star and stuff, and that it's being built and they need to strike while it's weak.
Because they need to go to Endor to destroy the force field around it. And that's why they go to Endor, but they do a little strike team.
Oh, okay, so they send a few people to Endor, and then Luke...
But Luke goes back to Dagobah.
And Yoda and Obi-Wan are like, you can't go face Vader because you'll turn to the dark side, and it's really bad. If you fight him now, like, you're not going to win. And Luke's like, but I have to save my friends. And they're like, okay, I guess.
And then Yoda's pretty much like, fuck kids these days, and dies.
Yeah, he just up and Force Ghosts.
He's like, you know what? Fuck you. It just lays down and dies. And Luke's like, wait. And he's like, nah, I'm done talking to you.
Well, I mean, Luke was like, I don't know, he was a little bitch, I thought.
Luke is a little bitch through the entire trilogy, but we'll talk about that later.
Why
He
wouldn't
really
we
is.
talk about it now?
Because he's doing his recap.
So
He just asked us for assistance.
Okay, gotcha.
Luke goes and voluntarily turns himself into the Empire, and him and Darth Vader's like, you'll turn to the dark side, and Luke's like, I know there's still good in you. And so they go there, and it's kind of like almost a big distraction for Vader. Anyway, they're all plotting their attack, and Luke's brought before the Emperor, and there's little bears, and Han and Leia fall in love, and they're like, I love you, and I love you too, and it's okay, he's my brother. And then Han's confused, but they kiss.
It's okay, he's my brother.
So, Emperor shows Luke, like, hey, look at all your friends, I'm about to kill them because this is a fully functioning battle station, and this was all a trap. And then Admiral Akbar's like, it's a trap! And then all of the ships come out of nowhere, and they start fighting and fighting and fighting because everything's defended, and it's just one big fight for the longest time. And then eventually... Palpatine starts zapping Luke, and then, like, Luke's almost done, and Vader's like, oh, wait, no, that's my kid, I should care. And so he picks up Palpatine up, and he throws him over the railing, which should kill an old man. And then, let me look upon you with my own eyes. And he takes off his mask, and he's like, no, you'll die, leave me. And then Luke leaves, and then they blow up the Death Star because... Meanwhile, on Endor, they made friends with little bears, the Ewoks, and they blew up their generator so that they could send a strike team to go blow up the middle of the Death Star. Anyway, happy fun times across the galaxy, and they burn Darth Vader, because I'm sure he wants to get burned again, and...
That's a Jedi thing.
Yeah, I don't know, it just seems in poor taste after he got burned on Mustafar, but maybe that's just me. And then he's a Force Ghost.
Potato.
Twice baked potato. Potato.
C-3PO also became a god.
To the Ewoks. And...
Everyone lives happily ever after.
Yeah, it's...
Until 30 years
the
later.
Empire is destroyed.
Leia has long hair now.
But yeah, that's Return of the Jedi. Again, I'm sure I missed a bunch of spots, but...
Larry's Recap Corner
has now ended. Get out. You're done for the night.
You're fired again.
We'll call you next week for your other recaps.
So, Jeff, favorite part?
Probably the fight between Vader, the Emperor, and Luke. Like, it's just good stuff.
Because it was cinematically very strong. It was much stronger than the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really... I don't feel like they knew quite what they were doing. But now they're like, okay, so we don't need flashy moves, but this fight does need to...
Flashy moves came in every other Star Wars movie after.
Right? They're like, we need more flashy moves. But it was such a powerful emotional fight, especially because there were times where Luke was fighting and he was getting very upset and angry. Mm-hmm. And then, good, give in to your anger.
Let the hate flow through you. Alan?
Favorite part? All of Endor. I actually really enjoyed all of Endor. I loved when brother and sister were kicking butt in the woods on the speeder bikes, and then the little Ewoks. I mean, like, Ewoks are not like my favorite Star Wars character, but like they're super cute. And I like Leia's outfit towards the end where she's got the really long hair and she got like the braid that goes across her head, and she just looks very, very cute and very Leia. So, yeah, pretty much. I don't really care for any of the other part of the movie. I mean, the full movie's great. It's a great movie. But like the whole sand stuff, I'm just, sand. So, the whole Jabba the Hutt thing is, well,
gets everywhere.
Jabba the Hutt's gross. But yeah, no, I definitely, I enjoy most of the indoor stuff.
Larry.
So my favorite part is...
I like how you looked for acknowledgement and you were like, is it my turn?
Well, because I don't want to interrupt anyone. I know we all love Star Wars and I don't want to interrupt.
He interrupted you.
That's Jeff's job.
No, you interrupted today.
I asked to interrupt first, though. We're interrupting Larry.
Well, I think you were more like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but...
I'm going to let you finish, but...
So the whole scene of the sail barge scene, because it's very dramatic and it's very heroic, and it's like one of the few times where Luke gets to use his lightsaber a lot. Like every other movie, they're like, all right, you're going to use your lightsaber a whole bunch. But like in the original trilogy, there wasn't a whole lot of use for a lightsaber. It was mostly blaster fights. But this one, he was just slicing people up and pushing over the railings and blocking blaster bolts and doing force jumps and pushes and stuff. Like, it was Luke showing like, hey, I have mastered the ways of the Force now. I'm at least much better than I used to be on Hoth. And I really like it, and it's got the theme song and stuff, and it's really fun. Babe, what is your least favorite part?
Jabba. I hate that. I don't really care for that any of that whole scene. I do love Leia's outfit, though. I do love her. They call it Slave Leia outfit.
She did not like that.
She hated it, but I did like the outfit as a whole. I know Carrie Fisher hated it, but yeah, just him like Jabba. He's like, bleh. Like I know that's what he's supposed to be, but he just really grosses me out, especially because he killed that one singer, and I was like, ugh, why? So,
My turn?
Yes, sir.
I hate in the digital remaster that George Lucas put that whole fucking dance scene in Jabba's palace. The Uba Waba Uba song? Have you seen? You've probably seen it.
Yeah, of course.
That is not part of the movie.
No, it's not part of the original movie.
It has nothing to do with anything. It looks super fake because it's digitally added into a movie that was not made during our time. And it really pisses me off.
You know what that could have been?
Nothing?
Bonus feature on a DVD somewhere.
It pisses me off. Other than that, I don't really have many problems with this movie.
No, honestly, out of the three of them, there's not a lot of a downside to these three movies.
Larry might have one. Larry, what's yours?
I thought he already had his.
He didn't go.
Oh, that was his favorite one. Babe, what's your least favorite part of this movie?
Apparently there aren't any, so good luck.
So my least favorite part, and it's not because I think it's a bad part, just because it always gets me, is after the gate smashes the Rancor, and the little keeper runs up, and he's so sad because his pet got killed. Because it takes oh, look, you slayed the monster. And it was like, oh, that was this dude's pet. Like, yeah, he had to kill him. But, like, this dude probably raised him from a little egg.
From the little Rancor.
And he fed him all kinds of poor, hapless fools who fell through the trapdoor in Jabba's palace. And now he's dead.
That was the big chubby guy, right? Like the huge one.
Yeah,
like
with the
he was all sloppy mess,
mask.
and he just ran
the
over to
Gamorrean
him.
was like holding him afterwards. It was sad, and it's kind of like in a D&D adventure where like, okay, I roll to like slice the bandit in half. Like, okay, cool, you rolled a nat 20, you're gonna just cleave him in two. Alright, so your axe comes down, and right before it comes down, he's like, wait, I've got a family, and then you just cut him in two. Like, yeah, you did it, but it's not as satisfying as you would have liked.
Poor guy. Blubbered mess he was.
Well, I think I know what time it is. You guys know
What time is it?
We need to pour out another drink for the 2,471,647 people that were on the Death Star 2. We will take a moment of silence for their love. Which I don't understand how there's more people on this one.
I was just about
when
to
this
say.
one is literally has a gaping hole in it. But anyway.
Oh, well, hold on. Now, the original Death Star, there were a bunch of friggin' empty hallways.
But I think this one's bigger. Isn't this one bigger?
It is, but do you... I don't know. Okay, but imagine, if you will, the amount of construction workers who are on the outside in space.
How do you build a Death Star?
You don't use a dry dock, that's
But
one.
how do
Piece
you
at
just-
a time.
But how do you just build it in space? You know what I mean?
Just
It probably didn't start out in
very
space.
carefully.
Well, they didn't finish it not in space. There's a giant gaping hole.
Unless
Death Star
you
2
wanted
is
it
not
to just
complete because
look
that's
jagged.
why the Emperor has to say I have a fully functioning Death Star. Because it looks like it's not complete.
Yeah, he doesn't say complete, he just says fully functioning.
Yeah, because it's not. Well, it obviously isn't complete. It has a big gaping hole in it.
Maybe that's
It's only
aesthetic.
it's only like
It's the
2/4 of the
Sith.
way done.
But it probably has like a force field around it, so it's probably okay.
Well, it does on Endor. So then once they destroy the force field, shouldn't everyone have gotten sucked out into space? I'm so confused. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, we're taking a moment of silence because we're about the people who died.
Yeah. Moment silence.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay, they're good now. They have been drunken for, pouring out drinks, all the goods.
So, we're going to go ahead and move on to one of the newest segments, but we're going to do exactly the same thing we did last week. We are going to rank these 3 movies from our favorite to our least favorite. Jeff.
Now, before we start, are we ranking it favorite to least favorite, or are we ranking it best to worst?
Favorite to least favorite, isn't that what we did last week?
Okay.
Sure.
Which is it's essentially the same thing.
Except we debated.
No, because you have strong opinions about episode 1. That's a stupid movie that doesn't need to.
So let's try and pick our favorite out of the 3, which will be the number
all
1.
of us.
Let's all say our favorite, and then
Okay.
we can try and rank them.
3, 2.
No, we're just saying 1.
Yeah, we're all saying our favorite one.
Oh, are you counting down?
Yes.
Yeah, we're all-
I was like,
Because 3, 2, and 1 were already talked about. 3, 2, 1. Episode
Return
5.
of the Jedi.
You didn't say anything.
Babe, what's your favorite? You don't get to be the
Are
middleman
you going to
this
say A
week.
New Hope? Were you going to say A New Hope? You were going to say A New Hope, weren't you?
I
Awkward.
really love A New Hope.
Well, this is awkward.
Okay,
So I guess we all need our own list this week.
I'll go with Return of the Jedi. No, I really like A New Hope. How about we just have our own list
Yeah,
this
that's
week?
what I just said. We're going to have our own list.
Now, to be fair, I don't dislike Empire Strikes Back.
No one said you had to dislike it.
I would actually put that as number 2.
I don't dislike any of the trilogies.
No, and that's why it's
Original
hard.
trilogy.
That's why it's hard. You know, we could always just not rank them, and we just say we like them all.
How about the internet ranks them by who has the best Rotten Tomato ratings?
Okay.
Please hold.
So, babe, why did you pick Return of the Jedi?
I picked Return of the Jedi because as a kid it was always my favorite because it was the like it was super heroic. It kind of brought everything together. There was a lot of like everything action, and it ended on like a happy note. The rebellion won and the empire was crumbling. And that's always as a kid why I liked it, and as an adult, like the themes I felt kind of like stayed the same. And so I don't know, because I really like all 3 of them, but Return of the Jedi is one of my top Star Wars films of all time.
Okay. Now, I personally love new episode 4 because It was the start. Like, it was the beginning. It was the first thing that, first move that introduced everybody to Star Wars and the Skywalkers and everything. And I just love it. I love everything about it. The introduction of the characters is just so good. And yeah, it's pretty much why. It's just the start of everything. Like, it is literally why we're sitting here talking about Star Wars. Like, Episode 4 is the reason we're sitting here talking about Star Wars.
Agreed.
So, Jeff, why is Empire Strikes Back your top one?
The Empire wins, which is not normally how a movie would end. But I think the significance of Episode 5 is that you have a sequel to a movie that is as good, if not better, than the original thing. Most movie trilogies, the sequel is not good. It's usually not. The second one's usually because it's a filler movie. Like, Empire's technically a filler movie, and then it leads into the conclusion of the story. But I think Empire does a very, very good job bringing up its own story and continuing the stories, and really developing on what just was created. And Daddy Vader's in it more.
A valid reason. So, what did Rotten Tomatoes say?
So I went off audience scores.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys guess to think what it was, and then I'll tell you the answer.
I think probably most audiences probably liked Return of the Jedi.
Okay, so that's your for number one.
Yeah, I'm going to say.
What's your number two?
Empire Strikes Back.
And your number three?
New Hope.
What's yours?
I think it's going to go A New Hope, Empire, Jedi.
At 97% audience approval is Star Wars Episode 5.
Ooh.
The Empire Strikes Back, which is also considered one of the greatest movies. I'm just saying.
No, that's fine.
At number 2, at 96%, is Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. And then sitting at 94%, they're all in the high 90s. Good for them.
Yeah.
Is Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Now, Empire is largely considered the best Star Wars movie created. I think, based on what other people have said, not just us sitting here, but like if you do your research, like most people will say that Empire is the best out of all the Star Wars movies. I was surprised A New Hope beat out Return of the Jedi, but I'm also not, because a lot of people, there's a lot going on in Return of the Jedi, and a lot of people don't like Endor. They don't like the Ewoks and all that stuff. And that's my 2 cents there.
I can see why. Like, I completely understand why Empire Strikes Back got so high on Rotten Tomatoes. Completely 100% understand it. And based off of just, now this is us just going off of our personal opinions and why we like each movie, but I can see why Empire Strikes Back. I do agree, it's probably one of the best Star Wars movies, if not the best. As far as the way it was made and all the things in it, completely understand. As far as my personal opinion, I will always say that I love New Hope more than the other ones in the original trilogy. And that's again, that is just simply based off of opinion of my own personal opinion.
No, we're not saying...
No, we're not saying anything. We're
not Larry who tells us that our opinions are wrong. You're never going to live that down.
Okay.
You're never going to live it down.
No, and I know. Oh, I know. That's exactly what that's what you guys are not saying. I completely understand that, but I understand why. I mean, Empire Strikes Back is a great movie, probably one of the best movies. But so we already know. Would your ranking would go Return of the Jedi next, right?
Probably. And then A New Hope. I have nothing against A New Hope. It's just... Right. I find A New Hope to be the setup movie, to be honest with you. Not Empire, which should have been the setup to the conclusion. I don't know. not that much happens in A New Hope, if you really think about it.
It mostly takes place on Tatooine and the Death Star. It introduces all of the characters and the idea behind the Wars of the Stars. But I mean, we're Luke in this movie, where we kind of get thrust into it. Where he came in, they're like, hey, we've been fighting the Empire for a very long time now. And he's like, cool, can I help? Bang! And then everything's good. But that's kind of how that one...
A New Hope is definitely not a filler movie. But it is definitely a great introduction movie.
Oh, absolutely.
I think all three of those movies were very strong, and I don't think, I know the world ranks them, and I know clearly that is what we are doing right now, is we're ranking them, but all three are great pieces of cinematic history that, again, are the reason why the three of us are sitting here doing an entire month of Star Wars episodes.
It's the drama and the romance and the fantasy and the escapism of it all.
Yeah, they're just beautiful movies, and I know people are like, "Oh, that's so nerdy to call it a beautiful movie," but it's a beautiful movie.
It really is, though.
It's a beautiful movie. So, final thoughts on Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6. Anything you just absolutely want to say about any of these episodes before we call this episode Dunzo, like the Death Star?
Oh.
I hope George Lucas never touches these movies ever again.
God, I hope someone has like a lock and key on it to where he can no longer make
a Velociraptor.
any type of noise to these movies ever again.
Well, he doesn't own them anymore, technically. So.
I mean, he
sold those rights.
But no, and I agree with you. I hope he never touches them. I hope, honestly, no one touches these movies again. So,
I think the only time I would accept them changing the movies is like what they did for the little animated shorts, where it took audio from the movies and animated it. I loved getting to see that, and I would wholeheartedly watch a completely animated rendition of all three of these movies.
Yeah, as long as it was taken, the voice was taken.
The audio was,
yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I love the movies, and I'm super glad that we talked about them today.
Me too.
George Lucas never touched them, please.
Yeah, ever again, please.
And just get rid of the ones he did, and just put the theatrical versions back out there.
Yeah.
You have them. I know you do. I've seen them. They're on DVDs.
Just take out all the weird stuff and then re-release them.
Boom. We'll do it for you.
Yeah, just let us know.
Who are we saying that to? Disney?
But speaking of great things that should never be touched, actually, that segue is terrible for one.
Let's try that again.
Okay. Speaking of great and epic things, don't forget about our contest that's going on. We are officially in week 3 of our contest. So, yeah, we are in week 3 of our contest. So make sure that you have already liked our, but subscribe to our page, as well as subscribe to the Epic Gourmet Popcorn page, and like that beautiful photo that was done by none other than our other co-host, that is my lovely, amazing husband, Larry. So make sure you like that photo because he works so hard on it.
You're so sweet.
Sweat and tears.
Blood, sweat, and tears on that iPad right there. Apple, if you would like to sponsor us, please feel free.
Especially if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts.
Especially if you're listening to the Apple Podcast. But yeah, just go ahead and do that again. You have until May 30th at midnight Eastern Standard Time to go ahead and like the photo, follow both us as well as Epic Gourmet Popcorn. So just make sure you do that. You're going to win 9 bags of popcorn, like 9 bags of whatever gourmet popcorn you want. And you get to pick our man crush, person crush, whoever you want it to be, and it is all up to you. So just go ahead and do that. But yeah, so it's exciting. All of you who have done it, awesome. Thanks for doing it. Tell your friends.
And tell your friends to tell their friends. And their friends to tell their friends.
And then their friends tell their friends.
And then you can tag all of them.
And get entries. Extra entries. Come on, guys. You know you want that popcorn.
Pop.
Popcorn.
But everybody, thanks so much for tuning in again this week. We had a great time talking about, the OGs, the good ones.
OG.
The good movies. You guys can email us any questions you'd like at gigglesandgays@gmail.com. You can tweet at us
At Giggles and Gaze on Twitter.
You can slide into our very, very dry DMs on Instagram.
At Giggles and Gaze, either I will answer you, or Jeff will answer you, or Larry will answer you. So we will answer you.
Somebody will answer.
Somebody will answer.
And you'll be able to tell who it is by the response.
Probably. So if you get a great response, it's probably from me.
If you get a sarcastic response, it's probably from me.
Yeah.
If you get a heart, a like on it, on your response, it's probably me.
That's it. No words, just a heart. And then you'll get a response from us. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
But you guys can listen to this podcast wherever it's found. Please follow, give us a like, give us a little, what are they called? Reviews
on all of our podcast.
Yeah,
places.
On every episode. Just go back and review every episode.
Yeah, every single one, as long as you like them.
I don't think you can do that, but just review the podcast for us. That'd make us feel good and dandy. But yeah, I don't think we have anything else going on, do we?
No, I don't think we have anything else. Not till next week. I think next week's episode, guys, is going to be a little intense.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
I feel like Jeff is going to be very, very opinionated.
I don't have any opinions on anything.
Liza Minnelli.
Wow.
So, friends, check back next week and you can see what we're talking about.
Watch the podcast fall apart behind.
Watch the podcast fall apart because Jeff has very strong opinions.
Just a few.
Yeah, pretty much.
On a 2-hour movie.
Oh my god.
2.5 hours?
I don't know. We'll figure it out next week.
I think it's 2.5.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Giggles and Gays. We really appreciate you guys being such great people and listening to us. Hopefully you're enjoying what we're doing. I know the three of us are super enjoying doing it for you. So again, friends, this has been Giggles and Gays. I'm Jedi Master, who has been locked away for a while because I wanted to not be caught by the Empire Alan.
This is Smuggler Larry.
You're just a smuggler now? And I'm the Sith Lord whose song got interrupted at the beginning of this episode, Jeff.
That's you this time. I was about to say it.
You were about to say that, weren't you? Oh, and you guys, all you gigolos out keep calm, and may the Force be with you.
Bye.
Always. Bum ba bum ba bum ba 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 bum ba 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 ba.